Hey, what's going on, everybody? Emily wanted some help with another LEGO Star Wars review, so today we're going to be looking at the Justifier. This is set 75323. It'll come with 1,022 pieces, and it'll be retailing for $170 US, and it'll be available on August 1st. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So, just kind of diving into it, there's a lot of gray in this one. This is just a lot of dark gray, but there's a lot of like smooth stuff in here. So one of the problems I have, and it usually only happens with the dark grays like this, is I'll see a lot of scratching. So you can see there's actually one of these pieces. It came out of the bag just kind of scratched up like that. And that was kind of unfortunate. And there's a few other pieces here and there that have scratches like that just out of the bag had it. There's actually another scratch here on this piece. It might be a little bit hard to see on camera, but you get the point. So that's my biggest gripe right off the bat, is just all the dark gray in it. It's kind of boring, but I guess if it's true to the source material, can't really complain too much, right? So something else to talk about, the main play feature of this set is it has this like kind of landing mode, or this other mode where you can like change the thruster position. So if you see it from the front view here, it's actually really cool. You see these gears down here, the landing gears. If I lift it up and I flip this around, you see those landing gears retract up in, and then now the thruster is up there at the top, and I guess this is, maybe fighter mode or fast mode or something like that, maybe light speed mode. We haven't really seen the ship too much, so I don't know what to expect in terms of its different configurations, but this is still cool nonetheless. I'm really hoping that this means we'll probably be seeing more of this ship in Season 2 of Bad Batch. I think that'd be really sweet. So again, you just bring it down like this, and boom, that's how it lands. I'll do it a few more times. Up, retracts the landing gear, down goes the landing gear. So I actually really like that. I think I'm more excited about the fact that these landing gears go up and down than I am about the thruster moving up and down. That's just such a cool feature. Yeah? That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the ship. So in terms of the set, this set was about 1,000 pieces. There was a lot going on. There's a lot of little small greebling you kind of see in the exposed parts here. I think I would have liked to see more greebling, but again, that just goes down to the, keeping it true to the ship. So if we take a look under the wing, it's actually cool that you can like see how the gear works. So essentially all this does is when you lift the thruster up like this, it'll spin these little spinny gears that'll cause the landing gear to come up or down. And that's really all there is to it. I say that's all there is to it. It was kind of a pain getting it to work. It was Technic, so it's unforgiving, and I kept putting pins in the wrong holes. You know how it goes, but that's just how Technic is. You got to deal with it. So awesome that there's a mechanism that you can see how it's done. There's a lot of smooth pieces here, and it is a really nice set. The engineering behind it's great. I feel like the main drawback to it is the fact that the whole set was literally built around this one function. And I feel like it takes away a lot from more of the story of the set, which we'll get into in a minute. So in terms of the bottom of the set, this is where my biggest probably complaint comes from it's a little bit boring. It's a lot of gray bricks, just solid gray bricks. This is like something I'd expect to see more maybe 10 or 15 years ago in terms of Lego, but just having these gray bricks is a little bit like kind of boring in my opinion. I like seeing more of the panels on the side. It's also interesting, there's masonry bricks backwards in here too, so it's kind of funny that there's like actual bricks in the set. But I like the texture. I wish there was a little bit more texture in here too. Looking at more of it, there is a little bit of a door that comes down, which is interesting because you can't really access it very well. I think you can store some of the cargo that comes in the set, and hopefully you can see that just well, and boom, look at that. There's the cargo. So it is nice that there is a little bit of a cargo hold, because now let's go ahead and take a look at the cockpit. So looking at this cockpit, I'm conflicted. There's a lot I like and a lot I don't like. Most of what I like would be up here in the front. I like Cad Bane's gamer chair up there. That way he can play Overwatch while he's flying around. I really enjoy that. I like the little windshields that they did. And then back here is actually the little red jail cell, and this is where you put Omega for being a bad clone, and she just kind of gets transported in there. So this brings us to another big gripe I have for this set. I got big chubby fingers. I have a hard time. Let's see how long it takes me to grab her. Oh, I thought I had her. Hold on. Oh, well. Wait, there we go. Okay, so that wasn't bad. That was actually one of the quickest times I've got. So it's actually really hard to pull her out. So oftentimes what I do is I just flip the ship over. And then this brings us to another problem, is there's a lot of loose pieces that come with this set. There was actually, I already lost them. They're in the other room. It comes with like a lightsaber and some thermal detonators inside of here. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's weird that it comes with a lightsaber in the beginning, but maybe it's because he's a bounty hunter. He killed a Jedi or something. but you know, just doing barrel rolls while there's lightsabers and thermal detonators flying around the cockpit just doesn't seem like a safe idea. So again, that's kind of one of my little gripes here. But, you know, for the most part, this is just going to sit on the shelf, so you don't really have to worry about it unless you're playing with it. And that's pretty much it for the inside. It's not a lot inside of here. For as large as this ship is, you can't really fit a lot in there. You know, you have Omega sitting back here. You can put Cad Bane in the chair, and then you can maybe have Toto 360 just kind of hanging out somewhere in there. And that's pretty much it. You're very limited on what you can do in terms of inside the ship. But, you know, for this cool play feature and everything else, I guess you can't complain too much. Maybe for that $170, maybe you might want a little bit more. And now we're going to get into another gripe, and this is just a gripe I'm always going to have: stickers. And particularly with this set, I think I nailed the stickers in terms of like where they go on the set. However, the part where I think I messed up a lot, and I always do, is when they put stickers on these transparent pieces, like on the cockpits. I cannot stand when they do that, because what always happens is fingerprints get under there. I used a stud separator to try to get in there, but it still just seems like I didn't do that great of a job. I think this one is all right, but these side ones, it's just a pain to get them, you know, especially with the transparency to them. I really don't like when Lego does transparent stickers. That's my biggest gripe, I think, when it comes to stickers. If you know me, you know I just don't like stickers in general. However, in this case, I really despise them. Playability-wise, you know, obviously we have the main attraction being this thing that flips back and forth. You do have these cannons on the side that look really nice, and then you have the flick fire missiles here. I really like those flick fire missiles, been a huge fan of those. The old flick fire missiles were terrible. I guess these are technically spring-loaded launchers, whatever, you know what I mean. For swooshability, this is the real test. So I've kind of figured out that right about here, that's where you want to hold it, and you kind of fly around like this. And it actually surprisingly is very swooshable when it's in this mode. Now, when you put it into, I guess we'll call it attack mode, it still kind of works, but what I noticed is the center of gravity shifts forward, right? So when it's out, the center of gravity is kind of backwards, and now it's forward. So you just have to be a little bit careful when you're holding it like that. Maybe you have to like bring your hand up a little bit further up towards the front of the ship. But yep, that's how it goes. It actually is pretty fun to go around and chase the dog with it. That's what I often do. Sometimes I shoot Emily with the spring-loaded launchers too. She doesn't like that much.
No.
So I guess that's really it when it comes to playability, right? You have this major mechanic of the whole thing, and then you have the launchers on the side. Something else I did want to point out, this is a very interesting build. I've actually never seen anything quite like this. Maybe I've seen some stuff similar. Right here on the back thruster, there's this very interesting build, and I hope you can see it on the camera. But those are actual triangle pieces, triangle tiles just kind of shoved into the side of a plate, as well as a 2x6 tile just shoved in the middle of that plate as well. It creates a really cool effect, but I'm like, man, is that illegal? It's technically not illegal. Tiles being shoved into studs is not illegal, but it's a very interesting building tactic. And just because I've been complaining about it a lot, I do want to show you kind of what happens when you barrel roll it. It might get loud, so hold on. So if you flip it upside down, you know, the lid comes off and these wings fly off. So it's kind of a disappointment, but I guess maybe this ship really isn't meant to be played around like that. Maybe it is more of a display kind of thing. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're looking to get this for, you know, a younger kid who probably wants to play with it. I would say this set was a little bit more advanced than some of the other ones of this wave. But also, you know, in terms of playability, it's a little bit, you know, fragile. I wouldn't recommend turning it upside down. All right, so that's enough about the set. Let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigs. Okay, so taking a look at our first minifig, we have Fennec Shand. So what's interesting about this figure, so this is our third Fennec Shand, which is kind of weird because really this character only came out in Star Wars like a year ago. But Fennec Shand has her helmet, which is really nice. The only other set that comes with Fennec Shand and her helmet is Moff Gideon's Star Cruiser, which came out last year. There is another version of Fennec Shand that comes out in the Boba Fett set. However, for some reason, they left out the helmet and they only gave her the hairpiece, which is also available in this set. I don't know if her hairpiece does a good job of showing how she looks in the show, but it's whatever. I'm just really happy to have another helmet. And it comes with a blaster and a briefcase because she's on her way to work or something. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Hunter. So as far as I can tell, this Hunter is the same one that comes with the Bad Batch shuttle. It comes with the knife, comes with the cool looking clone helmet and everything, back printing. Looks really nice. When you take off the helmet, you see you have actually two faces of Hunter, but Hunter looks like Two-Face from Batman, so I guess you get four faces of Hunter. So one side there, the other side there. Of course, he looks like Rambo when you take off his helmet, and it also does come with this other hairpiece there. So it looks pretty cool. So now that I have two hunters, maybe I'll display one with and without the helmet. Okay, so this one is probably the one I'm most excited for, Omega. I actually really like this character, and I'm really happy we finally have her as a minifigure. So here's how she looks. I really like her hair. I can't tell if it's a new hairpiece or not, but it looks astounding. I love that hairpiece on her. I love her little face, and my favorite part of the figure is the arm printing. But what's even more interesting is if you take off these handcuffs, there we go. So we actually have a little bit of red down here too on the sleeve. So I would actually recommend not using these handcuffs. That's probably gonna be the last time I put the handcuffs on her, just to show you guys. Just because I'd be worried that it might start scratching off the paint there. So that's gonna be it for her handcuffs. She also comes with an alternate face, which is her Happy Omega. Happy Omega, Captured Omega. All right, so next we're gonna be looking at a new character, not necessarily a minifigure. So this is gonna be Toto 360, and I'm really excited for this figure. We've seen this character back in the Clone Wars hanging out with Cad Bane. It's cool to see him again. Man, this is a really cool figure, and I really like what they're doing with this. In fact, I actually brought out the little BD droid that came in the N1 Starfighter. They're about the same size, and I really like that. I really hope to see more stuff like this from LEGO Star Wars. This is like pristine LEGO Star Wars. Very excited to see this figure. Very small, just kind of, you know, you can kind of put in someone's arms really easy. And it's got these weird like holes on the back, and I've been trying to shove different pieces in there. It doesn't really look like it's in system in any way, so they're just kind of interesting holes. Printing is very nice on this. There you go. Look at that printing. So very happy with it. You can almost imagine Seth Green laughing at you. And finally, the main attraction to this set for me, Cad Bane. Oh, he's glorious. Look at that silver printing on his torso and his legs. He just looks phenomenal. This is actually my first Cad Bane figure. I never got him in any of the Clone Wars sets, and when he showed up in Bad Batch, I was really just hoping LEGO would remake him, and I took the chance. However, I did buy an extra Duro just in case, because I feel like he'd be easy to make yourself. So looking at this figure, he's got this respiratory thing, and what's actually interesting is it's actually rubber. You can kind of see me moving it a little bit there. So it's rubber respiratory, which is I think is different from the ones previous to it. And he has this cowboy hat. I can't tell if this cowboy hat is older or not, or if it's a new one, but it's not as cartoonishly long as some of the ones in the Clone Wars sets were. And then there's his face there. Look at him. He looks like such a cutie. I absolutely love this figure. This is probably my favorite figure from this set. I love looking at all the silver on there. It kind of reminds me of the Mandalorian when he got his Beskar armor. That's like the level of detail they did with it. Let me go ahead and take off his respirator so you can see the rest of the back printing. Okay, so removing the respirator, you see he's just got a little bit of silver stuff going on back there as well as this bandolier. And here's the little rubber respirator. It's a really interesting piece. I'm really excited to have it. Let's go ahead and throw that back on. Let's go ahead and put on Daddy Cad Bane. He looks good. And this is a really great figure to have, especially the fact that he showed up in the end of Book of Boba Fett. Sorry about the spoiler. So it's another way to actually get him. So very excited about it. One last piece of this set that's kind of like weird, it just kind of sticks out a little bit, is it comes with all this little cargo. So I'm actually not sure what this is, and I'm not sure what this is. I can't remember if it was in the series or not. I don't know. This, to me, just looks like it's Imperial credits. Maybe, you know, they're doing some transaction with the bounty. You can kind of role play Fennec Shand delivering, I don't know, her office papers or something to Cad Bane in the trade. Kind of weird, but I guess it adds a little bit of playability to it. Again, we have more stickers here, nothing too bad. And some interesting colored green 3x3s, which is kind of cool. That's honestly my favorite part of this whole thing. So yeah, that's really all there is to the accessories of this set. Just my final thoughts on the whole thing. So again, this set comes with about 1,000 pieces, but it retails for 170. I think it is pretty expensive, in all honesty. It's the most expensive one of the wave. The pieces are really large. I mean, look at how big the wings are and stuff like that. So you are getting really large pieces, so that could affect it a little bit. And you're getting some great minifigures. In terms of the price for the value of the set, I'd say at 170, you know, it's kind of hard to incorporate the new inflation rates into LEGO. It's just on the limit of being viable. I'd say like the ATTE is going to be the best value for 140, I believe, is what that one will be retailing for. But for 170, it's a little bit much. I would definitely be getting this set day one if it wasn't already sent to us by LEGO. Again, we really appreciate it, LEGO. And I hope you guys like this set. Let us know what you think about it. Let us know if there's any problems you see with it from this review or not. We really appreciate it. Anyways, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.